Good evening, Mr. Armando.
Mr. Wade.
Oh, there we are. There we are. I didn't hear you at first. Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay? No?
Yes.
You can't?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I do.
okay, good.
Do you?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you
You
fine.
can hear me, Mr. Wade?
Yep, yep. I hear you fine now. How are you this evening?
Oh.
You're a little frozen.
Okay. Thank you. How about you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, I was wondering where's the passcode. I said, oh, maybe we don't want to have class tonight.
No. I will still have class.
I sent you the paragraph.
Yes. I got the paragraph. Yeah, I printed it out. I'm gonna read it and send it back to you tomorrow. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, here comes somebody. Looks like
Okay.
Guadalupe. All right, they're coming little by little here today. All right, very good. She's opening up.
Yeah.
Guadalupe, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, hello, how are you?
Hello. Fine, thank you, teacher. How are you today?
I'm okay. My connection is not great tonight for some reason. I don't know why that is, but hopefully it will get better as the evening goes on. Anyway, do you have any big plans for the weekend? Any plans for this weekend?
No.
No.
Stay home.
No plans. That's all we can do, right? Nothing to do. But they said they're opening the beach, right? You can walk on the beach if you want to, but you can't sit. That was the rule. You can walk, but you can't sit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the new rule. You can be on the beach. You can walk your dog, but I don't know if you can go swimming or not. But you can't sit on the beach. You can't bring your blanket and sit down. So that's the new rule for the beach.
Wow. Okay.
So if you want to take a walk, you can go to the beach.
Better than nothing, no?
Well, it's not going to be so hot this weekend, right? So,
okay.
So we can stay in town. We can stay in town a little bit.
Yeah, we can stay home.
Yep, I'll be staying home. Thursday is my busy day because I have to go. I have to be a student on Thursday afternoon. I have a class. Yeah, so I have 3 classes on Thursday.
Oh,
because I have to teach 2 classes and then I have to be a student for 1 class. Yeah, there's a online class for all the teachers. There's like 6,000 teachers who are taking my class. It's a very, very big Zoom. 6,000.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I think there are 2 different classes, and one has 6,000, and
everyone is gonna be connected.
One has 7,000. Well, they do it as a webinar, so everybody's camera is off except for the person who's teaching the class. So your camera is off and your microphone is off, and you just listen to the teacher. So it's going okay.
So how long you take the class?
I have to take it for
an hour too?
2 hours every Thursday. So I just finished. It's from 3 to 5 o'clock. So I finished at 5 o'clock, and then I had my dinner. Then I got ready for this class. All right. Hello, Claudia. Are you there?
Oh, I see.
Maybe.
Hello.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, there you are. Hi, Claudia.
Yes. Hello.
Welcome. Let's see. We got Julio's wanting to come in here. Okay, very good. Nice to see everybody tonight. We're coming in little by little. We had a bit of a slow start tonight. It was only me and Armando for the first few minutes, but everybody's coming in now. I guess I was too late for too many times, and now everybody comes in at 5 minutes after. All right. Anyway, I'm ready to go. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Ready to get started?
Yes.
Tonight
Yes,
we're going to
teacher.
practice a little bit more with the reported speech. If you'll notice, right before the class began, I sent you that page from the other book that we were practicing. Remember, we were practicing out of a different book last night. I sent you that page right before the class begins, so you should have it on your phone now, or in your Remind app if you use the Remind app on your computer. So that's that. You should have that, so you can look at it. I know Leonardo was asking about that for last night. All right. So are we ready to jump in for tonight?
I see Leo.
¿Qué pasó?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes. Let's do it.
Yes.
All right. So the verb warm up is 5/14. That's today's the 14th of May. That means tomorrow is my wife's payday. Very good. Very excited about that. Always an exciting day when my wife gets paid. All right. All right. I don't see any of the money, but it's good when she gets it. All right. Let's see. This one says our planning is the first one. Should we use a gerund or an infinitive with this one?
Are going
Planning what?
Infinitive.
Infinitive, right? Planning to.
Planning to buy.
Planning to buy a new house. Plan plus infinitive. All right. Now the next one is about last week's test. Last week's test. What can we say in that case? Last week's test.
Very good. Didn't?
Didn't get. All right. I agree. Didn't get. Simple past negative, right? Simple past negative.
Yes.
Didn't. Now the next one, remember our conditionals we studied at the beginning of our online classes, right? That was chapter 9 and chapter 10, right? Jose wants a simple present, right?
once.
¿Por qué, Jose? Why simple present?
Because I remember that you told us that when if is a simple present.
Yeah, right, because can is over here, right?
Oh,
That means it's a possibility.
so
Remember, you're going to use either simple present or simple past. In this case, simple present because of can. All right. Now this next one, this is what we were talking about last week, right? Because look at the subject. The subject is the male. So should we say is or does?
Is the mail delivery?
Right, is.
Is the mail delivery?
The mail delivery.
It is.
When is the mail usually delivered, right? When is the mail usually delivered? Simple present, passive. Simple present, passive. Because a thing is the subject. Remember, when a thing is the subject, we want a passive verb. This next one is our classic present perfect, isn't it? For the last 6 months.
For
yes.
the last 6 months.
From 6 months ago until now. So what can we say? Hasn't. Hasn't drunk, right?
Oh, that guy is like me.
You're being very good.
Yep.
No
I feel
alcohol.
better.
You feeling better?
No alcohol for like 6 months.
Wow, good for you. For me, it may be 6 hours, but no, it's more than that. More than that.
Let's say 7 then.
Yeah, okay, yeah. 7.5. All right. At least that's last night. All right. When I called, my parents said what? What were my parents doing at that time?
They were having.
Were having. Right.
Their work.
Interruption, right? When we have
Were
an
having.
interruption, we want to use present past continuous. They were having dinner at that time.
We can use a simple past in that time, in that case.
Maybe, but simple past is usually when you have two actions, one after the other. When
Oh,
you
okay.
have an interruption, it's better to use past continuous. All right, now the next one is a little tricky because it has feel like. I felt like. Now here, like is not a verb. Like is a preposition in this case, to feel like. So should we use a gerund or an infinitive?
I feel like
Gerund.
Gerund, right.
infinitive.
We want the
Here,
gerund.
listening.
Hearing, listening.
Yeah, whenever you say feel like, we use a gerund, right? I feel like dancing, right? There's a very famous song, you make me feel like dancing. You make me feel like dancing. I want to dance the night away, right? So you make me feel like dancing, right? I feel like going to the store. All right, so gerund with the preposition. All right, excellent. Now the next one is another preposition right away, after, right? So what can we say here?
After I wash the dishes.
Now you could say after I wash, or we could say after washing.
After washing the dishes.
After washing the dishes, we can watch TV. Right? Remember, when we have after, you can use either a subject and a verb or a gerund. That's true with before and after. Actually, let me talk a little bit about that because I don't really think we have a lesson about that, but let me talk about it just for a second because that's a useful tip. Now, this is true only with before and after. It's not true with when or while or until. It's only true with before and after. All right, so before and after are a little bit funny in English because they can be clause connectors and they can be prepositions. So right? This is what we learned in level 2, right? When we have before and after, we use a subject and a verb, right? Does that look familiar to you? Before I went to bed, I brushed my teeth. After I read the book, I took it back to the library. No problem, right?
No problem.
But another option is preposition plus gerund. Before going to bed, I brushed my teeth.
Ready.
After reading the book, I took it back to the library. Now, there's one important rule about this little what I'm talking about here. And that's the rule. You must have the same subject for each verb. So notice in my two sentences, what is the subject? I, right? We have I as the subject for all of the verbs. However, let me show you another one. Before the movie began, I bought popcorn. Right? You see that one? Can I do a preposition and a gerund here? No. Because I have two different subjects. Do you see what I mean? What's the subject of the first part? Movie. What's the subject of the second part? I. So when you have this two different subjects, you can't do the preposition. You can only do the preposition when you have the same subject. So no preposition. No preposition possible with that last one. I cannot say before beginning. But if the subject is the same, I, you, he, she, it. If the subject is the same, you can do it. So, do you want some time to write this down? Okay, I'll be quiet for a second. It's very common, especially in spoken English. So I say, after finishing your homework, please give it to the teaching assistant. Or before leaving the classroom, please turn off the light. Right? I have you as the subject. So with after and before, I can go two ways. I can have a full subject and verb, but I can also have a gerund. All right? No problem?
Okay.
No problem? Okay.
Give me a moment,
I
please.
think so.
A little more time, or you're okay?
Yes, please.
More
Thank
time?
you.
Okay.
Yes, please.
You're okay?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Okay.
All right.
Lupe,
So-
¿cómo está, Lupe?
So if we see this example, right?
I missed you, Leo.
You're not finished? You
No.
need more time? Okay. Hold on.
Let me
All
take a picture.
Okay, hold on. There we go. Back to
Let me
business.
take a picture much better.
Okay.
If you use your phone, just make a screenshot.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, screenshot it on your computer. That's another good way to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, got it. Okay. All right, so back to what we were doing. I think Armando said, after I wash the dishes, which is fine, right? After I wash or after washing, both are fine.
I wash.
Okay. No problems. Okay, next one. Which car yesterday? Sounds like simple past to me. What can we do?
Car.
Did, right.
Did. Did.
Right. Which car did Dave drive to work yesterday? Right. Simple past question. Did and base verb. Now this one is a little bit tricky because it has a very long time clause. It says for 3 months before she got her own apartment. So what can we say there?
State.
Now you can use simple past, but you could also say had stayed, right? Past perfect. Stayed is okay, but you could also use past perfect here because we have two actions. Remember, past perfect is when you have one action and then another action before. All right, how about the next one? These days, our store. Should we say isn't or doesn't?
Doesn't.
Is it in
Yes,
general
Mr.
or is it at this time?
Oh, isn't.
Which one do you like?
Doesn't tell.
Isn't or doesn't?
Doesn't tell.
It doesn't. In these days, the store.
Isn't selling.
I prefer isn't selling, right?
This
Isn't
days,
selling.
our store is not selling. Yeah, isn't selling.
Right, because we're talking about a time. Right? These days, the store isn't selling many summer clothes.
It's a seller.
All right. The next one says, I'm going to wait here until. So we have future. What's the partner of future?
until the bus will
Make
come.
a bus.
Comes, right?
So the bus comes.
Comes. I'm
Simple
going to wait
present.
here until
Simple
the bus
present is the
comes.
partner of future. Remember, main action is going to be future. Time action, simple present. Main action, future. Time action, simple present. Okay, the next one, we have the word try. Infinitive or gerund in this case?
There's always price.
Watch it.
Um,
To watch,
To
No,
watch.
watch the
to
TV.
watch, yeah, to watch. I'll forget that.
Right. Try to, right? So I say, kids try to be quiet. Students try to be on time, right? Trying to learn English. Try to. The next one says ever. What can we say about ever?
Has Frank
Has-
ever?
That's right.
Has
Has
ever
Frank
had.
ever? Has Frank ever had? Our past participle, right?
Has had.
Has Frank
Medium
ever
fruit.
had? Everybody agree? Has Frank ever had?
Yes. People is hard for Shannon because she's.
Now the next one, oh look, no subject.
Meeting.
Meeting.
Right?
Meeting people.
Meeting
It's
people
hard.
is hard for
If
Shannon.
you want to write more polite, to meet.
Exactly. Jose knows this very well, right? Meeting, standard English. To meet, very formal English. Both are acceptable, but meeting is more popular. Because if I want to use infinitive, usually I will switch it around and I will say, it is hard for Shannon to meet people. So usually if I use infinitive, I use it. But this is okay for formal English. Now the next one is about a class and the verb is teach. So do you think we want active or passive?
Passive.
Passive, right. So what can we say?
Was.
Should we use was or is?
The chicken class is usually
Is
Teach.
teach during the
Is
fall
this.
semester.
it.
Not
Ah,
teach.
Usually talk.
Oh,
Right. The Shakespeare class is usually taught during the fall semester. Is usually taught. Okay.
It's usually taught.
Right now, says the next one. Right
now,
at this
the
moment
The doctor.
Performing.
is performing.
Now.
Perfect.
Moment.
Is performing a very difficult operation. Is performing. The next one has yet. Yet.
Have you expect?
Have you expect?
Have you inspected, right?
Have you
Have you
inspected? Yes.
Have you inspected the brakes yet? All right. The next one says your project. We're going to say what for that? But we're talking about when, ready. What about tomorrow? So it looks like future, huh? So,
If
so when,
When will you project?
your project
Will
be
be.
ready?
Your project be
When will
Yeah.
the project?
When will your
When
project
will
be
your
ready?
project be ready?
Tomorrow?
Ready.
Yeah. When will your project be ready? Tomorrow? Remember, the when question is almost always simple past, simple present, or simple future. The when question. We don't use present perfect or anything like that with when. Simple past, simple present, simple future. In this case, simple future. All right. How about the next one? It's our old friend from level 3. Why?
While it was cooking.
Exactly.
She was cooking.
Excellent. You guys are doing great. All right. The next one says 3 students out of class yesterday because they were noisy. Oh, we have to
Were kicked.
were kicked or got kicked, right? Remember, we could use got kicked too.
Got kicked.
Or were kicked is fine. Remember when we talked about get with the passive? We had a lesson about that. Do you recall? Maybe 2 weeks ago. Right? When a person is the subject, especially when something happens to a person that they don't like, remember good news and bad news? I got promoted. I got robbed. Good news and bad news, we often use get with the passive. Were kicked is fine, but we could also say got kicked. So two options there. All right, what's the next one here? It says, how much longer? Oh, this one's a little tricky. It's not how long, it's how much longer. So is that past or present or future?
That's a future.
It's present.
Right, it's future.
No, present. Look at the end of the sentences. The question today.
Longer.
But it's how much longer today. So we're going to use future.
It's present.
Future.
present.
Future.
Future, okay.
Right.
Have you,
I think it have been practicing.
No.
have you,
No,
or has you, no?
How much will you practice?
will
You
you
practice.
be
How much longer
practicing?
would you
Practice.
practice? Yeah. Practice the piano.
Will you be
Yeah.
practicing?
This is something we're gonna talk about more closer to the end of the class. But let me do a little quick lesson on the board, real fast.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see here. Eraser, erase. All right. Text. Okay. So. All right. So when you have an action that's in progress, for example, I don't know, cooking. No, let's not say cooking. Let's say I'm working. I'm working. I have been working for 3 hours. Right? So far, so good?
I'll be back in 3 minutes, Mr. Webb.
Okay, no problem. I have been working for 3 hours.
I will be working for another 3 hours.
So right, I'm in the middle of my day, right? So far, I have been working for 3 hours, and then I'll be working for another 3 hours
3 hours.
from now, right? So this is so far. Let me say it these words: until now,
No,
and then this one is
so far.
from now.
Oh no. Until now and from now, I'll be working for another.
You see the difference?
Oh no.
So let's say right now it's 7:30, right? So if I say I have been working for 3 hours, that means I started working at 4:30, right? And if I say I'll be working for another 3 hours, that means I'm going to work until 10:30, right? 3 hours before and 3 hours after now. So when you want to say after now, you can use that future continuous. So for example, we have been doing online classes since April, right? Yeah, March actually, right? We have been doing online classes since March. How much longer will we be doing online classes?
I don't know, maybe for another 2 months.
4 weeks. 4 weeks,
Okay.
right? We'll be doing online classes for 4 weeks. will be
Okay.
doing.
Will
Right.
be doing.
We'll be doing online classes for 4 more weeks.
This week.
Isidora,
Hi.
Okay.
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 All right. All right. So back to business here. So this one, how much longer will you be
Will
practicing?
you be practicing? How much
All
longer
right.
would you be
Will be
practicing?
Now the next one says, my neighbor's dog ran away last year. It 20 miles from home.
Find.
Should we use an active or a passive here?
It was
Passive.
fine.
Was
No,
Was
found. Was
It
found.
was found.
Was found. Or
Was
again, we could
found.
use that get.
Yeah, good.
It got found 20 miles.
Got found.
Remember, good news and bad news. We can use get.
Mhm. Got found.
So both are
Get
okay.
found.
It was found. It got found 20
Was
miles from
found.
home.
Okay. Was found. Got found. If you
All
just
right.
the question to
Now the
say-
last two both have if, right? We have if here and we have if here. Okay. So what
if
can
you
we
don't
say
know,
if you don't
If
know?
you
I
don't
agree.
know.
Simple present. But now the next one we have to read a little more carefully, because what does it say? If the living room were larger. Were. What's going to be the partner of were?
Whole family.
Should we use will or would?
would.
Would,
Would.
exactly.
Mm.
Remember our second conditional?
Yes, would. Our family would be decorate
Imaginary conditional, right?
Christmas tree. Mhm.
We would decorate a Christmas tree if our living room were larger. In fact, our
Oh,
living room
yes,
is
would.
very small, so we don't have room for a Christmas tree,
Okay.
right? Remember,
Right.
past and present and will, past and would. Remember that from a couple weeks ago? Like that, well, like right at the beginning of April, we talked about the conditionals, right? That's chapter 8, chapter 9, and chapter 10 in your book. Chapter
Okay.
9 and chapter 10. Check it out if you haven't already.
Chapter
Chapter 9 and chapter 10.
10. Check. Okay.
All right? No problema?
Hi, teacher.
Hi,
You
teacher.
have a lot of
A lot of problems. All right. Now remember, students, if you want extra practice, let me show you. If I can find it. I don't know if you have time for extra practice, but if you want extra practice, let me see here. ¿Dónde está?
Cruz, you didn't even. Teacher, you take me out from the meeting.
What?
What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, okay, maybe it's me.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I don't know. It says Zoom. Join
No,
the
no,
meeting.
no.
I don't see you.
That was just my screen. Do you see the Schoology page now?
No.
Nope.
Or you just still see the Zoom button? Okay.
Only
Yep.
the Zoom.
Okay, let me fix that.
Honey, no tienes-
All right. There we go. Do you see
Yes.
Schoology now?
We got it.
Yes.
All right. All right. Bravo. Okay. So let me remember we are the cheetahs, right? So we'll go to my cheetah page. And remember, if you want extra practice with your verbs, remember hay muchos, right?
Okay. Let's review.
There are 40 practices online that you could do, you could print and take a picture of and send it to me and I can check it for you. Right? So if you want extra practice, there are 40 different verb pages. Right? For example, you open it up.
How do we get there?
This is just in Schoology. It's in Schoology and it's in a folder that says verb reviews.
Verb reviews. Okay.
Verb reviews. Yeah. Yeah, and see for example, there's a page right there. So you could, there's 40 of them there, so you can practice as much as you want. I'm sure you're not going to do all 40. Okay? So
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
now, since I'm on the Schoology page right now, let me tell you about your homework I want you to do for the weekend. Okay? In your Cheetah page, if you go to Spring 2020 testing, we have a practice test. It's not the level, it's not the chapter 3 test, but it's a practice test about noun clauses. So give that a try this weekend, okay?
Okay.
Everybody see it there?
Yes.
Yes.
Right? I will send you a picture.
So which one is it?
The green one.
Noun?
Noun clause practice test.
Okay. Noun clause. Okay.
I'll send it to you right now. All right. Let me see. Now this is not, I'm going to just send you a picture so you can find it. I cannot send you a Schoology link because everybody has a different class. All right, but I'll send it to you right now. Okay. Hello, Ching. Maybe he's not here yet. Let's see.
How can I send you my assignment, my writing?
You can take a photo of it and send it to me by email, or you can send it to me through the app.
Okay.
So students, I'm not sending you a link. I'm just sending you a picture of where you can find it, okay?
Okay.
Sometimes it goes a little slow. There we go. So you got a picture just a second ago, okay? It's not a link, but it's a picture. All right, and I'll send it on WhatsApp too. My computer is very slow tonight. I think my computer is almost dead. If you saw my computer, you would be very sad for me.
No, it's Thursday, you know, it's Thursday.
This is my daughter's old computer from her high school days. And so it's a little bit slow. All right. Well, I'll have to send you after. Yeah, it's this connection's a little slow tonight. Anyway. Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Now,
Hello.
tonight I want to put together two things that we were practicing. The first thing we were practicing was making the indirect question, right? And the second thing we were practicing was the reported speech. Remember, we were doing reported speech last night, right? So you were in your little groups and you were asking your partners your questions, right? Where do you live? I live in Highland Park. He said that he lived in Highland Park. Remember from last night? We were doing that, right? And then on last Thursday and Monday and Tuesday, we were practicing the indirect questions. So now I want to practice both of them at the same time. So we're going to do a little bit of a tricky dialogue using indirect questions and reported speech. Okay? Sounds good? Can we do it?
Yes.
Why not?
Yes, why not?
Why not? Let's give it a try.
Why not?
Okay, so
Why not?
I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do some reading tonight, too. All right. Okay, can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
But it's very small, and you don't like it, right? There it is, a little
No,
bigger.
I can see. Okay.
All right, can everybody see
That's
the screen now?
Yes, teacher.
All right. A says, I forgot to tell you my Uncle Fred called yesterday. And B says, oh, really? And A says, yes, he wanted to know when we were going to take our vacation. Right? This is our connector, subject, and verb. What did you tell him? I said that we were going to take our vacation in February. Remember, said that. And this one, he wanted to know when. So here we have our indirect question, and here we have the reported speech. Okay? All right, everybody got it?
They said,
All right.
I forgot to tell you. Oh, really? Yes, he wanted to know. What did you tell him? I said that.
All right, everybody got the idea?
Yes.
All right, so let's practice a little bit. All right, repeat after me. Please repeat. Uncle Fred
Uncle Fred
wanted to know
wanted to know
when we were
When
when we were
going to take our vacation.
going
going to take our vacation.
Our vacation.
I said
I
I
said
said
that we were going to take our vacation
that we
And
were
we are
going to take
take
our
the
vacation
vacation
in February, right?
February.
February.
Okay, good. All right, so let's practice this a little bit. Let's see, got the wrong button here. Okay, go up a little bit. Okay, here are some questions and some answers. Some questions and some answers. All right, so we're going to use indirect question and reported speech. Indirect question and reported speech. Let's do one together so you get the idea. And then we'll practice a little bit more with students. All right, let's do one together and then we'll practice individually. Fred says, are you feeling better? So what did Fred want to know?
he
wanted to know
if
Fred called and he wanted to know what?
if he is
He wanted to know
When
if
they
he is feeling
if
better.
I was feeling better, right?
Okay, if I was
He
feeling
wanted
better.
to know if I was feeling better. And what did I say? I said that
I'm fine.
I was fine, right?
I was fine. Yes.
Right.
Hi,
So
Luz.
so listen carefully,
that I
students.
was fine.
He wanted to know if I was feeling better. And I told him that I was fine.
I was fine.
He wanted to know if I was feeling better. And I told him that I was fine. Okay, no problem?
No problem.
No problem.
Yes.
All right, a little tricky, right? A
Yes.
little tricky. Okay. So here's the question. What are your weekend plans? And here's the answer. We are going to Miami. Okay. So let's start with, let's see. Let me find my list of students here. How many people we have here? 14 people. Let's start with Jose Garcia.
Whoops.
Are you
Yes.
ready, Jose?
I want to write the last.
Oh, the example?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me bring it up so everybody can write down the example. All right. I forgot to tell you my Uncle Fred called yesterday. Oh, really? Yes, he wanted to know, blah, blah, blah. What did you tell him? I said that, blah, blah, blah. Right? So what are we doing? We're using our indirect question in the first statement, and we're using our reported speech in the second statement.
The second statement.
Right? But in both cases, our verbs are going to be past tense. Okay? So this is one of the trickier little practices in the whole book. All right? Everybody ready?
No.
Not, you need some time? Okay, I'll take some time, no problem.
So what are we going to ask, Mr. Red? I have the questions.
Hmm?
I can listen the samples.
Did you print it out?
Yeah, I have a picture already.
Oh, you took a picture, okay. All right, all right, so I'm gonna send everybody the picture right now, so everybody has it. Okay, at least it'll be on your phone. Okay, let me find the picture. What is that? Oh, there it is, right there. Questions and answers. Okay. Okay, if you have WhatsApp, I just sent it to you. If you have Remind, I'm going to send it to you right now too. So you'll have it on your computer or your phone. All right, because this is a little complicated, I know. It's hard to do it without a book. This is the bad part of not having a classroom, because I cannot just make copies and pass it around. Okay. All right, I sent it to everybody. So if you have a phone close by, you should have it on your phone now. Okay, there it went. Okay, back to business. All right, Armando, you want to start?
Let me hear one. I mean, well, I can start. Yeah. Who I gonna ask you? Jose?
You gotta ask Jose. Yeah.
Okay. Jose, I forgot to tell you my Uncle Fred called yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes, he wants to know when were we going to take our vacations.
What did you tell him?
I say that we were going to take our vacations in February.
Very good. All right. Now I want you guys to do number one. Can you do number one? Same partners.
Okay.
I forgot
Jose,
to tell you.
Are you
I
really?
need
Are
to
you?
see
No.
the example.
I just sent you the example. I can't put both the example and the questions on the screen, or
The
it's going to be
example from the
it's going to be
question.
very small. All right. Can you see it?
Okay. Oh, it's too small
Okay.
now.
Is it too small?
It's too small. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try it.
All right.
Jose, are you?
So I forgot to tell you, my Uncle Fred called yesterday. Okay. So do the same conversation. I forgot to tell you, my Uncle Fred called yesterday.
Jose, I forgot to tell you, my Uncle Fred called you yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and now say
Yes.
he wanted to know.
He wanted to know, are you feeling better?
No, he wanted to know if
If
I was feeling better.
Okay.
Because
He
Fred
wanted to know.
wanted to know, right?
Yeah.
So Fred wanted to know if I was feeling better.
What did you tell him?
I said
I said
mhm.
I said that I was feeling much better.
I was fine.
I was fine, right?
I was fine.
All right. All right. Students, repeat after me.
Okay.
He wanted to know
He wanted to know
No,
if I was feeling better.
if
if I was feeling better.
Better.
And I said
And
I
I said
that I was fine.
That
that I was fine.
fine.
Good. A little tricky.
yeah,
All right.
I was a little confused. I was like,
Yeah. I know. Okay, how about Jose A and Guadalupe B for the next one?
Okay. For the next one.
Yeah, but
what
do
are you
it with
looking for?
Uncle Fred every time, right? I forgot to tell you.
What
I
are
for- yeah, what are your weekend plans? I forgot to tell you. Uncle Fred called yesterday.
plans?
oh, really?
Okay.
Start.
I forgot to tell you. My Uncle Fred called yesterday.
All right, Guadalupe. Say, oh really?
Guadalupe,
I
are
think
you
Guadalupe
there?
left.
Oh, did she
Oh,
leave?
really?
Okay, how about Julio?
Up to it. Yes.
Julio, go ahead. Say, oh really?
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yes. He wants to know when
What?
Oh. What are your
What
when
are
what when
What
When
your
are you
weekend
weekend?
plans?
What are your
When-
weekend plans?
But again, let's
when you
change.
were going
Let's change it though. What are we gonna say?
when
He wanted to know what
are
Oh,
our
my-
weekend plans?
my weekend plans were.
Oh, you wanted to know.
He wanted to know
My
what our
weekend-
weekend plans were.
What?
Okay, I get it right now.
When?
I get
What
it.
our weekend plans were.
What?
Mm.
All right. And what did you tell him, Jose?
What did you tell him?
I said
I say that we're going to Miami.
We were going to Miami, right?
We're going to Miami.
Yeah, remember, informal English, you could say we are, but formal English, we were. I said that we were going to Miami. So listen carefully, students. Just listen. Don't repeat, just listen. He asked me, or sorry, he wanted to know what my weekend plans were. And I said that we were going to Miami. Okay? All right, students, please repeat. He wanted to know.
He wanted to know
What our weekend plans were.
What?
Where?
Yeah.
Where?
What our weekend plans were.
Okay. What our weekend plan?
What are we?
Where?
What
I
are
said that
I said that
we were going to Miami.
We were
we're
going
going to Miami.
Mhm. All right. The next one. Can you help me move my piano? I can help you on Monday. Okay. How about David Azuela and David Segovia?
Okay. Who is the letter A?
How about Segovia?
Okay. I forgot to tell you, my Uncle Fred called yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes, he wanted to know
If you.
if I can help you.
If I could help him, right? He
Yeah,
wanted
if
to
I help you.
He wanted to know if I could help him move his piano.
I wanted to know if I could help you move his piano.
If I could help him move his piano. Good.
If I can.
All right. And
what did you tell him?
What did you tell him?
I said that I
could.
I could
help on Monday.
I could help on Monday.
Yeah, I said that I could help on Monday. So again, students, listen. He asked me if I could help him move his piano. I told him that I could help him on Monday.
I could help him on Monday.
He asked me if I could help him move his piano, and I said that I could help him on Monday. Easy for me. Not so easy for students. I know this is difficult.
Yeah.
This is hard. Very hard. It's very hard. We're trying to do.
Get it. I just get it now. This is the phrases that they changed to could
Exactly.
change, right?
Yeah, reported speech. Because this phone call happened last night, right? Remember, what does it say? It says, my Uncle Fred called yesterday. So that's why we're using reported speech, because I say he wanted to know, and I said, and I did you tell him, right? It's all past tense. Remember the rule from last night. If the main verb is past, the other verbs will be past too. Okay. So,
okay.
All right. So the next one says, who is your dentist? I don't have one. Okay. So how about Claudia and who else is here? Let me see. I have to look at my list. Claudia and Ching. Is Ching here? Ching, are you here? No? Ching's not here. How about Claudia and Noel?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Por favor.
Okay.
So I forgot to tell you. Claudia?
I forgot to thank you.
Okay, I forgot to tell you. My Uncle Fred called yesterday.
Uncle Fred called yesterday. And Noel, oh really?
Yeah, oh really? What did he tell you?
Yes, he wanted to know about who was my dentist.
He wanted to know who
My
dentist was.
My dentist.
Oh, he wanted to know who my dentist was.
My dentist was.
He wanted to know who my dentist was.
Who my dentist was.
He wanted to know who my dentist was. Good.
So what
So he said that.
I
Okay.
no, I
No,
need to.
what did you tell him? Mhm.
I didn't have one.
I told him, I said that I didn't have one, right? So he
Yes.
wanted to know who my dentist was, and I said that I didn't have one. He
Mhm.
wanted to know who my dentist was, and I said that I didn't have one. Crazy, huh? Crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to
No,
have
no.
a rebellion.
I don't understand
There will be
nothing.
a revolution. Okay. All right. Let me put one example on paper for you. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe this will help a little bit more. Okay. All right. Let me share the piece of paper here. Okay. Let me see. Okay. All right. All right. So this is true. I agree. This is really hard. So I'm not surprised that this is difficult because it's one of the hardest things in English, right? So let's see, what was the first one, right? Are you feeling okay? Is the question, and I'm fine is the answer, right? That's number one.
Mhm.
So I'm going to start with he wanted to know. And what do I need to do? I need to change this to an indirect question and past tense. So he wanted to know if I was feeling okay. Right? He wanted to know if I was feeling okay. And what did I reply? Oops. My answer was I said that I was fine. Right? This is indirect speech. Right? This is direct quotation with the quotation marks, right?
Okay.
And this is indirect speech. Are you feeling okay? I'm fine. Direct. He wanted to know if I was feeling okay. I said that I was fine. Indirect. Okay. So, does somebody have number two? What's number two? Do you have it?
Yes.
What was number two?
What are your weekend plans?
What are your weekend plans? Okay. What are your weekend plans?
Yes.
And then, and the
We're
answer
going
is we're
to
going to
Miami.
Miami, right?
Yes.
We are going to Miami. Okay. So what can we do? We can say he wanted to know.
He wanted to know what my weekend plans
What
were.
our weekend plans
Our
were.
plans
I said that we were going to Miami. See what I did?
Yeah.
I made an indirect question here, and I made it past. And here I made it past. He wanted to know what our weekend plans were, and I said that we were going to Miami. Right? Direct, indirect. Right? Now remember from the book last night that it's also possible not to do the past tense. So in informal English, let me give you the informal. Right? That's informal. Informal English, you don't necessarily have to change the verbs. Right? This is formal grammar right up here. That's what we were practicing yesterday. Right? This one is in the book, but we didn't practice that because we were practicing the past tense changes. Yeah, if you remember, let me see if I still have that up here. Okay. Let me bring it up here for just a second. Let me show you one more thing, because this is hard. I agree 100%. Okay. Now I sent you these slides last night, but let me show you what I have here. I'm going to share this slide with you. Okay, hold on. Okay, 1 second. Okay, we did this slide last night, but I went over it kind of fast. Notice what it says here. Oops. Sometimes in informal English, we don't make the verb changes, especially when the statement is very recent and still true. So for example, I just talked to Jessica. She said she's looking for a job. No problem. Miguel told me that he needs some help in his math class. No problem. In my class today, the teacher said we're going to have a test soon. No problem. Al just called. He said he's on his way and he'll be here shortly. Right? In these cases, it's not so important to change the verbs. But remember, we had this slide last night too. Remember this slide?
Yes.
From last night?
Yes.
Yeah.
Making these changes?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're trying to do here. That's what we're trying to do here. Make these changes.
Okay.
Okay? That's
Okay.
what this practice is about. Because remember, let me see if I have that other slide. Let me see. ¿Dónde está? Where is it? There it is. Okay, can everybody see this slide?
Yes.
Right? Are you busy? Asked Louisa. Louisa asked me if I was busy. Right? This is what we're doing right now.
Okay.
We're changing to an indirect question and a past tense verb. What did you buy at the mall? My mom asked me what I had bought at the mall.
I had to go.
How long do we have to wait? Wondered Bradley. Bradley wanted to know how long they had to wait. Right? Remember, this was from last night's presentation. So now we're trying to do this in real life. Okay? So let's go back for a second to Uncle Fred. There's Uncle Fred, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Uncle Fred's question is, when are you going to take your vacation? And I say he wanted to know when we were going to take a vacation. I said we were going to take it in February. Instead of saying we are, we changed to we were.
We were.
Okay? All right. So let's see. So just listen to, we've done number 1, 2, 3, 4 so far. Just listen, right? Uncle Fred wanted to know if I was feeling better. I told him that I was fine, right? Uncle Fred wanted to know what our weekend plans were. I said that we were going to Miami. Uncle Fred wanted to know if I could help him move his piano. I said that I could help him on Monday. Uncle Fred wanted to know who my dentist was. I said that I didn't have one. Okay? All right, good. Okay, let's try it. Now this one has past tense already, right? Why didn't you call me? I was busy. Okay? So what happens to simple past? Remember from last night?
No change.
Simple past changes to past perfect.
Past
right?
perfect.
Perfect.
Past
Yes.
perfect.
Past
Okay,
perfect.
so how about Isadora and Leo?
Okay.
Ready, teacher.
What?
I don't ready.
Not ready.
You're
Try
not
it,
ready?
try it.
Okay, you can just say, oh really. All
Try
right.
it.
Yeah, Isadora can be
Okay.
A. So all you have to do is say, oh really.
Okay.
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 I forgot to tell you, my Uncle Fred called yesterday.
All
Oh,
right.
really?
There you go. Perfect.
Okay. And he want to know where
Well, you wanted to know why.
in number 6.
Number 5.
Oh,
5.
number 5.
Why?
Oh, why?
You
Why,
had?
Haven't called last week.
I hadn't called the week before, right?
I hadn't called
All right. He
last
wanted
week.
to know why I hadn't called last week.
The week.
Okay.
What
What did you tell him?
Tell him.
What did you tell him?
Okay. I say that I
Had been
had been called
busy. I
last
had
week.
been busy,
I had been busy.
right? He wanted to
Okay.
know why I hadn't called him, and I said that I had been busy.
I hadn't busy. Okay.
Okay.
You want it?
Oh my gosh.
What happened?
I don't know. Somebody's got some chicken that's burning.
It's
I
a
think.
smoke
That's
detector.
a smoke detector.
Somebody's on fire.
The house is on fire. All right. All right. The next one is will. Right? The next question, number 6, has will. What happens to will? We change
Good.
to would.
Good.
Exactly.
Wood.
All right. Let's
Would.
see. Do we want? Let's try. Let's see. Who haven't I asked yet? Let's see. How
Julio.
about Rosendo and Guadalupe? Rosendo, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. So you're gonna
You
say.
want some water, Papi? Let me give you
Okay.
some water. Okay.
Lupe, are
Give
you
me
there?
just a second. Just a second. Yes.
Okay.
One moment, please.
All right.
You have water? Okay. Never mind. I'm here, teacher.
You're okay. Okay. All right. Rosendo?
Yes.
What can you say?
Okay. I forget to tell you, my Uncle Fred called yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes. He wanted to know where would I be on Friday.
Almost.
Where will you be?
Where
Where
I would
I
be.
be?
Where I would be.
I would be
He wanted to know where I would be on Friday.
on Friday.
Friday, okay.
All right.
Okay.
What did you tell him?
What did you tell him?
I said that I
Would be.
would be at home.
I would be at home, right? He wanted to know where I would be on Friday, and I said that I would be at home.
What did you tell him?
All right, good. Okay, how about Edovigas? You ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, Edovigas is ready. And how about Jose Garcia again?
Yes.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you're B, Jose, okay?
Okay.
Okay. I forgot to tell you my Uncle Fred called yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes. He wants to know if I had
Had what?
if I had watched American Idol last night.
Very good. He wanted to know if I had watched American Idol the night before.
What did you tell him?
I said that I hadn't.
I hadn't, right. Good. So Uncle Fred wanted to know if I had watched American Idol the night before, and I said that I hadn't. So very good, Edvigas. That was perfect. Right? We're using past perfect because it's past tense simple. So simple changes to perfect. Right?
Perfect,
So
okay.
Uncle Fred wanted to know if I had watched American Idol the night before. And I said that I hadn't. Okay. We're getting through it. 3 more. Let's see. Jose, you want to try to be A this time?
Okay.
Okay. How about Jose A? And let's see. Have I called on everybody? How about
You haven't called me,
oh, who is this?
Julio.
Julio. Okay, Julio B. Okay, Jose
I
A
for-
and Julio B.
I forgot to tell you, my Uncle Fred called yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes, he wants to know what time. What time? Hold on. What time? Where you English?
Where the English class began?
What happens to does?
What
It's
time did
throw it away.
simple past.
Throw it away. We're gonna make it simple past, right?
We need to change that simple past.
You wanted to know what
What time
time
did your English class
Did
begin?
your English class begin?
my English class
Did my-
began.
Began.
Right? He wanted to know what time my English class began.
Began.
Right? I changed simple present to simple past. He wanted to know what time my English class began.
What do you tell him?
What did you tell him?
I said that it was start.
No, just started, right?
Oh,
started at
It
6?
started at 6.
Started
It's
6.
yeah, he wanted to know what time my English class began, and I said that it started at 6. He wanted to know what time my English class began, and I said that it started at 6. Okay?
Okay.
All right. 2 more. We're going to survive. All right. Let's see. How about Julio? You wanted to be A? And
Yes, sir.
Isadora
Let
B?
me, yes,
Okay. Julio A, Isadora B.
let me try it.
Okay. Julio?
I forgot to tell you, my Uncle Fred called me yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes, he wanted to know what was happening,
What had happened?
what
What
had
hap-
happened at the
At
student
the student
council
council
meeting.
meeting.
He wanted to know what had
What
happened
had happened
at the student
What
council
had
meeting.
happened at the student council meeting.
And
What?
Isadora,
What did you tell him?
what did you tell him?
I said I hadn't gone.
I hadn't gone. Mhm.
I hadn't gone.
I said that I hadn't gone.
I hadn't
I
gone.
said that I hadn't gone.
Yeah, all past perfect there, right? He
Okay.
wanted to know what had happened at the student council meeting, and I said
He
that I
wanted to
hadn't.
know
I
what had
hadn't
happened.
gone.
I said I hadn't gone.
I hadn't
Okay.
gone.
All right, good. Number 10. Do you want to go to a ball game? I will let you know. Okay, let me see. How about, let's see, who can we ask here? How about Claudia and David Azuela?
Okay,
Okay.
All right, David, you want to be A?
I'm gonna be A.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
give it a try.
Okay. I forgot to tell you. My Uncle Fred called yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yes, he wanted to know if I want to go to the ball game.
Very good.
What did you tell him?
I said that I would let you know.
Let him know.
Let him know. Yes, I would let him know.
Right. Very good. Very good. Right. He wanted to know if I wanted to go to a ball game, and I said that I would let him know. Okay. Wow, that was fun.
Okay.
That was
It was
fun.
difficult.
We need more practice.
I know we need more practice. That's why we're not having a test this week, right? Okay.
No.
All right. Let me stop that share for a second. Woo! I'm tired. Oh, It's hard. It's hard because, like I said, you're not just doing one thing. You got to do two things. You got to change the verb to past, and you have to use the indirect question. So you're doing two things at the same time, right? So if someone says, "How are you?" I say, "He wanted to know how I was." You see what
It's really
happened?
difficult.
Yes.
How
Yeah,
are
wait.
you? He wanted to know how I was. Right? Are you hungry? He wanted to
He
know
wanted to know I
if
was hungry.
I was
I
hungry.
was hungry.
Right? Do you like movies? He wanted
He
to
wanted
know
to know
if
if
I
I
liked movies.
movies.
He wanted to know if I liked movies. Or how long have you lived in Los Angeles? He
He
wanted to
wanted to
know
know how
how
long
long
I've lived.
I
I
had lived
have been living.
in Los
Those are
Angeles.
easy, Mr. Webb. Those are easy.
I'm giving you easy examples, huh?
Much better. You give us the difficult.
Yeah, yeah. Forget about Uncle Fred. Yeah, we don't want to talk about Uncle Fred anymore. No. Tio Frederico is out. All right. Okay. Anyway, we'll practice that more. Don't worry. We'll practice that more. And if you do the practice test, you'll have some good practice on that as well. Okay? No problem. All right. So we're gonna finish today with some reading. Okay? No more grammar. That was enough. My head hurts, and I'm the teacher. I have a headache, and I'm the teacher. All right. So let's try instead some reading. Okay? So if you get out your purple books, we're going to do some reading in the purple book tonight. Okay, a little reading. We're going to look at your purple book.
What page?
The page is
No fuiste al Costco.
38.
Rebeca te mandó decir que ahí en el Costco de comer está estaba el.
Oh my God, Leo.
Sí,
¿Y la
pero
leche del niño?
aparte ya estaba desocupado. ¿Vas a abrir mañana, Jorge? ¿Y ya tienes listo, ya lavaste, limpiaste todo?
Leo?
A lot of personal business out there.
¿Y las tortillas? No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No problem.
Saca la basura azul y la verde que te dije.
Y traes la leche para el niño.
All right. There we go. All right. Okay. What do you see the article?
It's a page 38. Yes, teacher.
Page 38. Barriers between generations. Everybody see that?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to need some volunteers here. Who wants to read the first paragraph for me? Do I have a volunteer?
I'll do it.
I do.
Yeah, I do it.
I can read it.
Okay.
Mr. Webb, can you share the page?
Oh, I'm not sharing the page? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, this is page 38, but let me share it so everybody can see it. Okay, let me share the screen. Page 38. Share. Okay. All right, how are we doing now? Everybody can see it now?
Yes, teacher.
Barriers between generations. Okay. All right, so who said it? Armando, did you say you're going to read it for me?
Julio.
Yeah.
Julio.
Yeah.
Julio's going to read it.
Oh.
All right, we'll do Julio first paragraph and Armando second paragraph, okay? All right, Julio, get started.
In immigrant families, language difference in work schedule often create barriers to communication between the generations. Dolores Suarez, 42, and her son, Diego, 16, face all kinds of barriers every day. Dolores is an immigrant from Mexico who works 7 days a week as a housekeeper in a big hotel. She doesn't use much English in her job, and she has never had time to study it. Consequently, her English is limited. Her son, on the other hand, was raised in the United States. He understands Spanish, but he prefers to speak English. When his friends come over to visit, they speak only English. They talk so fast. I can't understand what they are saying, said Dolores. To make the situation more complicated, Diego and Dolores live with Dolores' father, who speaks Nahuatl, a native language spoken in Mexico. Diego can't understand anything his grandfather says.
Oh my. All right. So let me ask you some questions and let's check our vocabulary. Okay. So in this family, the Suarez family, how many generations are living in the same house?
Three generations.
Three generations, right? There's Dolores, there's Diego, and then there's Abuelo, right?
Yes. The father.
The grandfather, right?
Mhm.
Now, what is Dolores's best language?
Spanish.
Spanish.
Spanish. And what is Diego's best language?
English.
English.
And what is Abuelo's best language?
Nahuatl.
Nahuatl.
How do you say that? Nahuatl?
Nahuatl.
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 Nahuatl. Okay.
No, Nahuatl, no. Nahuatl.
Nahuatl. Okay. Okay. Now, is Dolores able to improve her English?
No, she's not.
No.
Not really, right? Not really. Well, what's her biggest problem?
She doesn't have time.
She doesn't have time.
No time, right? Why not?
And doesn't use much English
She
in her job.
works.
Because she works 7 days a week.
And she works 7 days a week, right?
Yes.
And remember our connector here, consequently? Remember this one?
Consequently, yes.
When we were talking about connectors, consequently, her English is very limited. Now, what about the son? Now, does he speak Spanish?
Not much. He's most
He prefers English, right?
He
prefers
understands.
English. He understands, but he prefers English. Probably like some of your kids, right? Now, what language does he use with his friends?
English.
Only in English, right?
Yes.
And is this a problem for Dolores or no?
Yes, he's a problem because
Why is the problem?
Cannot
She
understand.
can't
They
understand
speak too
anything.
fast, right? And notice the expression here. I can't understand what they are saying, right? There's our connector, subject, verb, indirect question, right? I can't understand what they are saying, right? So a bit of a problem for the Suarez family, right? Okay, let's see the next problem in the second paragraph. Let's see, and Armando, you said you were going to read that one for me, okay?
All right. Dolores' work schedule is the second barrier to communication with Diego because she rarely has a day off. Dolores isn't able to spend much time with him. She doesn't have a time to help with his homework or attend his parenting teacher conferences. And his school in 1995, when Dolores immigrated to the United States, her goal was to bring out her son with enough money to avoid the hardship her family suffered in Mexico. Her hard work has permitted Diego to have a comfortable life and a good education, but she has paid a price for his success. Sometimes I feel like I don't know my own son, she says.
Oh my. All right.
Wow.
Big problems. All right. Now, according to this, the first problem was the language, right? And what's the second problem?
The schedule, work.
Time, right? The time. Dolores's work schedule is very, very full, right? So what does she miss?
It means all the conferences.
She misses all the conferences, and what else can't she do? She
He
can't
makes
really,
all the life with his son.
right.
She can help him with the
all right.
homework.
So how do you think she feels about her life right now?
She feels disappointed.
Right. Maybe we could say mixed feelings, right? Have you heard that expression before? Mixed feelings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So she's glad that Diego has a comfortable life, but there's a price, right? There's a price for the comfortable life, and the comfortable life is she doesn't feel connected to her son very much. So that's a problem for Dolores, right? And it can be a problem for many families, not just immigrant families, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the father is working so hard he doesn't know the kids. That's a sad situation when that happens.
Yeah, but you miss out a lot of things from the songs.
Yeah, you miss a lot.
Yep.
Right. All right, let's see if we can answer the questions about the story on the next page. Let me switch to the next page here. This is page 39. And let's see if we can answer these questions. Okay. All right.
Mr. West, how do you pronounce the word suffered? Like that?
Suffered?
Suffered. Oh,
yeah, suffer. Yeah, the pronunciation has the accent on the first syllable. All right. Suffer. All right. What is the main idea of the article is the first question. Everybody see the questions on page 39?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the main idea of this story?
Barriers between generations.
Right, that's the title, but what's the main idea? Well, what can we say? Dolores and her son Diego have what?
Difficulty
communicating, right. Remember, whenever you have to give a main idea, it's usually a subject and a verb, right? If you topic is different than main idea. If I say, what is the topic? It's barriers between generations, right? But what is the main idea? Dolores and her son have problems communicating, right? That's the main idea.
Different language.
Explain what, it's usually a who and a what. Who? Dolores and her son. What? Have problems communicating, right? All right. What are the two main barriers? What did we decide? Number one?
Language.
And number two?
The time.
The time, right. The work schedule. All right. Number three. Why is Dolores's English so limited?
Because she doesn't have time to go to school.
She doesn't have time to go to school. Exactly. She doesn't have time to go to school, and she doesn't have time to practice English at work. So
it's because she don't know she can take classes in the night.
Yeah, she doesn't know about the online classes offered at our adult school. Yeah. Well, I had a student this morning. She was listening to the class while she was in line at the DMV. So the English class because I said okay. I said okay. Yasmin, what's the answer to number 4? And she says, teacher, I can't talk right now. I'm in line at the DMV. So she was listening on her phone, which is fine. No problem. All right. Let's see. The next one, number 4. According to the author, why does Diego prefer to speak English instead of Spanish?
Because English is his native language?
Right, English is his native language and all his friends speak English, right?
Yeah.
All right. And number 5, why can't Diego communicate with his grandfather?
Because his grandfather speaks his native language.
Tongue, right? It's native Indian tongue, right?
Yes.
All right. And what was the goal when Dolores came to the United States? What was her goal?
She wants to have a better life.
Give to her
a better life for her son, right? A better life for her son. And what does it mean that she paid a price?
She doesn't know very well her own son.
Right. Paid a price means you have You have something that's not so,
Consequence.
so great, a consequence, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, good. Let's do the vocabulary and then we'll be done for tonight. Now, you'll notice, remember way at the beginning of this class, we talked about parts of speech, right? We talked about nouns, verbs, and adjectives, remember? Remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing.
Yeah.
And so we had some nouns that were in the story. Immigrant, differences, communication, education, success, right? And we have some verbs that were in the story. Immigrate, create. And we're also going to look at the adjectives, right? The adjective from immigrant is immigrant. Okay, so we're going to see if we can think of the noun, the verb, the adjective for each one of these. All right, so let me see here. Oops, we better close that down because that's all the answers right now. We don't want to give you all the answers. No, don't look at
I
that.
saw them. I saw them
Don't
already.
look, don't look.
I saw them already.
All right, for a second. Okay, all right, so let's see if we can think of them ourselves. All right, difference is a noun. What would be the verb for difference?
Defer.
Differ, right. So I could say, Diego and her mother differ about many things. Diego and his mother differ about many things. All right, and the adjective? These two things are?
Different.
Different.
Right, so we have differences, differ, and different. All right.
Yes.
All right. Create. If you create something, you are a
creator.
Creator. And what do we call the thing you created? It could be a person or a thing, right?
Yes.
So the person is the creator, right? I am the creator of this comic strip. But you can also use the thing. This is my
Creation.
Creation, right. All right. And the adjective, somebody who creates many things, we say he is very
creative.
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 So we have creation, creator, create, and creative. Remember, those are what we call parts of speech. You remember we had a lesson that we decided that there were 8 parts of speech, right? Noun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction. What are the others? Interjection. What am I forgetting? I don't know. Do you remember that lesson we had?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a while ago. All right. Let's see. Communication. That's a noun. Communication. All right. So what is the verb of communication?
Communicate.
Communicate, right? Communicate. Right? I'm trying to communicate with my wife. I want to communicate with my son. Right? And the adjective?
Communicative.
Communicative. Right. Communicative. All right. Here's another one that's going to be very similar. All right. Education is the noun. What's the verb?
Educate.
Educate, right? I want to educate my son. All right. And if someone gets a good education, what do we say? They are very
educational.
You could have an educational program, or if someone has a good education, what do you say? They are very educated, right? Educated.
Oh my God.
So both of those are adjectives, right? Educational is a program, right? Or a book. This book is very educational. This program is very educational. But then if you have a good education, we say, oh, David is very educated. Educated. So we can have both our adjectives. All right, finally, success, the noun, success. What could be the verb?
Succeed.
Succeed, right. I succeeded in my business. I succeeded in my business.
Succeed.
And if you succeed in your business, you have a lot of success. We say that
Successful.
person is very
Successful.
successful. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. So there the words are again. Let me see. Can you see them? It's a little small. Oh, it doesn't get bigger either.
E-double-E.
It's a little bit small there, but maybe you can see creation, create, creative, communicate, communicative, educate, educated, succeed, successful. There they are, all are. No problem?
No.
All right,
Not so
let's see if we can put these words into the story, and then we'll see if we can be done for tonight. All right. All right, we have missing words. All right. The first one needs to be a verb, right? My family decided to the United States. What can we say?
Immigrate.
Immigrate, right? My family decided to immigrate to the United States. All right. Now the next one is also a verb. Parents and teenagers almost always
Differ.
differ, right? Parents and teenagers almost always differ. All right. The next one says, Shosha paints beautiful and unusual oil paintings. She's very
creative.
creative, right? She's very creative. Good. All right. The next one. Deborah's son isn't very
Communicative.
Communicative, right? He isn't very communicative. All right, two more. It's a parent's responsibility to
educate
the children, right? It's a parent's responsibility to educate the children. And there are two things you need to be what? Successful in life. Two things you need are education and luck. Successful. Okay. All right, good. Let me stop the share a second. All right, back to business here. All right, let's go around the circle one time. I'm going to ask you a question. The person will answer the question, and then we're all going to do a report, okay? So if I say, do you like pickles? Yes, I do. So you're going to say, the teacher asked Armando if he liked pickles, and he said that he did, okay? All right, so we're going to start with Armando. All right, Armando.
Yes, sir.
How many children do you have?
The teacher wants to know how many children.
No. You just answer the question.
Oh, I have two.
Two children.
I have two children.
Almost five, but two. Okay, two children. All right. So what happened? Right. The teacher asked Armando.
The children.
The teacher asked Armando.
How many
children?
How many children
He had.
And
he said
he had two.
That he had two, right? The teacher asked Armando how many children he had, and Armando said that he had two. Okay. Claudia. Can you swim?
No, I don't. I can't.
No, I can't. Okay. All right. So what happened?
The teacher asked
Claudia if she can swim.
She
could
swim.
If she could swim, and Claudia said
she couldn't.
She couldn't. Right. So the teacher asked Claudia if she could swim, and Claudia said that she couldn't. Right. Can changes to could. All right. All right. Let's see. Isadora. Will you take a vacation this summer? Will you take a vacation this summer? No?
No.
Oh, I say Isadora's microphone is off.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
My microphone is on?
Your microphone was off. Okay, so let's try again. Now you're back in business. Will you take a vacation this summer? Isadora.
Isadora?
Yes. No,
Really? No, I won't. No, I won't. Okay. All right. So what happened?
Because the coronavirus.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay. So the teacher asked Isadora if she would take a vacation,
this summer.
and she said
That she won't.
that she wouldn't.
She wouldn't.
Yeah.
She would.
She wouldn't.
She want to take.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Rosendo, are you there?
Yes.
Rosendo. Okay. Let me ask you a question. What kind of movies do you like? What happened?
Are you there, Rosendo?
His microphone was off.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Oh, well.
I like
All right.
Titanic.
I like a horror movies.
Horror movies?
Me too.
All right. Well, let me ask Noel same question.
Noel?
Noel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What kind of movies do you like?
Well, I don't like to watch movies.
Okay, I don't like to watch movies. You said.
Yeah,
Okay,
no.
no problem. All right, so what happened? The teacher
teacher
asked Noel
is
what
kind of
movies
he liked.
he liked. And he said
He liked.
Noel said
that he didn't
didn't like to watch movies.
He didn't like to watch movies.
Right, so the teacher asked Noel what kind of movies he liked, and Noel said that he didn't like movies. All right, David, Venezuela.
Yes.
Let's see. Where are you from?
I am from Mexico.
Students, por favor.
The
teacher asked David,
where is he from?
Where he was from, right?
Where he was from.
The teacher asked David where he was from, and David said?
He was from Mexico.
Oh, he said that he was from Mexico. Exactly. Okay. All right. Edovigas is leaving. Bye, Edovigas. See you later. All right. All right. How about Rosendo? Are you there, Rosendo?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Let me try you another question for you. Let's see. What did you eat for lunch today?
I ate beans and salad.
Beans and salad. Okay. So what can we say? The teacher
asked Rosendo
what did he eat?
What he had eaten, right?
What he had eaten.
So the teacher asked Rosendo what he had eaten for lunch, and Rosendo said.
And Rosendo said that he had eaten
beans and a salad. Beans and a salad.
If I say he had eaten, what's the next word?
No,
beans and salad. Yeah, he said that he had eaten beans and salad. He said that he had eaten beans and salad, right? So the teacher asked Rosendo what he had eaten for lunch, and Rosendo said that he had eaten beans and salad. Okay, all right. David Segovia, are you there? No, I don't see his picture there. Let me see. Did I ask everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so remember,
yes, we're sleeping.
in your Schoology page is a practice test about noun clauses. So you can practice that this weekend, and I'll send you some links for some more practice as well. Okay, we're not finished with this. Don't worry. We're not going to go on to a new topic until we get more practice, because it is tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
We need another week.
Yeah, another week, another month.
Oh.
All right. Yeah.
Probably another trimester.
Yeah, we'll see you in August. We'll be back. All right. Okay, no problem?
No problem.
No problem. Okay. So, all right. So I guess that's it. Okay, so gracias a todos. I'm going to see you all on Monday. Do that
Okay.
practice. Do that practice test that's in the Schoology for the weekend. Okay.
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 And then if you wrote something, I know Claudia gave me something and Armando gave me something. I'm going to send you those back tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
So look for your email tomorrow or your message.
Okay.
All right. Okay. No problem,
Thank you.
everybody.
No problem.
problem.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
We're
Mr.
done.
Red.
All
Bye.
right.
Yeah.
Donde
Thank you.
está my
It's
beer?
too
Oh,
late.
Okay.
thank
All
Bye.
you
right.
for your
All
effort.
right. I need to go. I'll get a beer. All right. Good enough.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Okay,
Bye.
thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Okay. No drinking and driving. See you later. Bye-bye.
You.
Bye-bye.